On this episode of Cape Media News, an indictment for the man accused of killing Yarmouth Police Sergeant Sean Gannon. Visitors to Gray's Beach can once again immerse themselves in the beautiful view, and piping plover chicks make way for beachgoers in Harwich. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for watching Cape Media News. It's been a big week for police in Massachusetts. This week, a Barnstable County grand jury indicted the man accused of killing Yarmouth Police Sergeant Sean Gannon and injuring his police dog, Nero. 29-year-old Thomas Latanowicz was indicted on 8 charges, including murder, aggravated assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm without a license, carrying a loaded firearm without a license, possession of ammunition without an FID card, mistreating a police dog, and being an armed career criminal. Sergeant Sean Gannon was shot and killed on April 12th as he and his fellow officers attempted to serve a warrant on Thomas Latanowicz. Sergeant Gannon's canine Nero was also shot and seriously wounded. At that time, Latanowicz had violated the conditions of his probation. Latanowicz was arraigned on a murder charge back in April. He was ordered held without bail, and following this indictment, he'll remain behind bars. He'll be tried in front of Barnstable Superior Court. Meanwhile, the bill that local law enforcement officials pushed for in the wake of Sergeant Gannon's death is now law. On Wednesday, July 25th, Governor Charlie Baker signed an act relative to the Municipal Police Training Fund. That bill is expected to bring $10 million annually to support police training through a new $2 surcharge on rental cars. That bill will go into effect on January 1st, 2019. Coming up, the Gray's Beach boardwalk is open once again.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
A stormy winter gave way to a beautiful summer, and the barricades blocking a popular Yarmouth boardwalk are now gone. Gabrielle Rawson and Norris Whitey report at the Gray's Beach boardwalk.
The wait to access one of the best views on Cape Cod is over. The Gray's Beach boardwalk was shut down for months after a January nor'easter completely destroyed the wooden structure. But now, work is done, and visitors are again enjoying the view.
I wasn't here. I was on Cape, but I wasn't here when the storm took it out. It was a pretty busy winter weather-wise, and the ice flows came in and took off the end of the walk, and they just got it finished rebuilding it, which is great. I think I give credit to the crews that came and did it. I understand maybe some from the correctional place helped do the labor, and I think it helped a lot of local people's put the puzzle pieces back together.
I've lived here for 33 years, but I don't come down to the beach that often, suns and all that. So I just came today to check on the bridge, but it was closed off for months and months. So now I just came by today to see, and it's working. You can use it.
We wanted to see both sides of Yarmouth. We wanted to see this bay side, and we also wanted to see the Atlantic side. So we're here to have a look around this morning, appreciate the nature. It's very beautiful.
I'm visiting from a long ways here for 2 weeks, staying in West Yarmouth. And I'm over here today enjoying Gray's Beach, which is beautiful. They have all these little names, little sayings and stuff like that, little plaques. It's cute. It's so lovely, and especially when you walk out onto the bridge, you could smell the wood. It still smells brand new.
Repairs took several months. The town saved thousands by hiring an inmate work crew from the Barnstable County Sheriff's Office. The boardwalk is fully open, and visitors are happy to return to walk, sightsee, and enjoy the beautiful vista overlooking Cape Cod Bay.
I like to walk the bridge because if you do it 3 times back and forth, that's a mile.
But I love to take pictures all during different seasons, and out here it's just primo. You don't get out into the water quite unless you have a boat. And the wintertime, it's just fabulous.
Very pretty, very peaceful. Great place to be on a beautiful day like this.
The Grays Beach Boardwalk is in Yarmouthport and is open to all. For Cape Media News, I'm Nora Switey.
And Grays Beach is located off Center Street in Yarmouthport. Heading over to Harwich, piping plovers caused some issues for beachgoers earlier this year, but the birds have now fledged. Time to take a trip to Red River Beach.
A brood of piping plover chicks have successfully fledged at Red River Beach in Harwich.
This year we had a successful pair of piping plovers nest. 4 eggs hatched, and so they had their full brood, and we haven't had much success at this beach in the past. So as far as the parking lot's concerned, the nest was on the beach, and that's where the birds spend a lot of their time, but right over across from the parking lot, down at that further end, is a marsh where they do a lot of their foraging, so that's where they eat. So for the first 25-30 days, the chicks can't fly to that marsh. They have to walk across the parking lot. So to make sure they don't get disturbed or hit by a car or anything, we close the parking lot.
In June, a third of Red River Beach parking was sectioned off to allow the 4 baby plovers to feed in nearby marshes undisturbed. Residents and visitors were for the most part unaffected by the closure.
Some of the dune paths were closed off just to keep people out of the habitat of the plovers. But other than that, the beach was still open. You could walk end to end. You could still walk down to the parking lot. So people who like to just walk the parking lot in the morning still had free access to do that.
Since 1986, the Atlantic coast population of piping plovers have been federally listed as threatened. Cape Cod has been doing its part to encourage their numbers to grow.
Cape Cod's the largest nesting area for piping plovers, so we really do a lot of the breeding grounds that are responsible for the whole population down the East Coast. The more numbers they have, possibly the less restrictions that will be placed on them in the future. It's also a good thing to keep them protected because they are what's called an umbrella species, so if they are protected, then it also protects terns and the beach habitat and all sorts of nesting seabirds and things like that. If we keep those restrictions to help the plovers, it also helps Cape Cod overall.
Although the Red River Beach plovers have successfully fledged, other nests could still be around.
If you come across the nest and it's not within a fenced-in area, it would be best to call the town or Mass Audubon so that we could put a fence around it just to keep people a safe distance from it. The eggs are very small, they're very hard to see, they look just like sand. So if you come across one and it's not marked off, it's really likely that someone else won't be looking down and will step on it. It's best just to avoid the dunes in general. The symbolic fencing is still up, so we ask that you don't cross into that area.
For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
For more than 2 decades, film lovers have been flocking to Woods Hole for the annual film festival. I had a chance to sit down with festival director Judy Laster and associate director and filmmaker John Gamache. They gave us a sneak peek at this week's festival.
My name is Judy Laster. I'm the founder and director of the Woods Hole Film Festival.
I'm John Gamache. I'm the associate director of the Woods Hole Film Festival.
When we started doing this 27 years ago, there were very few other film festivals. There was no playbook. There was no one to ask, how do we do what we're doing? And so we were really left to kind of think through and figure out a lot of things on our own. We wanted a way to show films that we were working on to the community of Woods Hole, and we gathered films by 4 other filmmakers, started the Woods Hole Film Festival as a 1-day, 1-hour event, threw open the doors, so it's immediately packed, and just took off from there. Film festivals have really popped up almost everywhere and are in the fabric of almost every city and community. This year we're going to have close to 170 films, which is kind of shocking. As media gets more diffused, as people consume media in different ways, whether it's your device in your hand or something just random, the opportunity to have people come together and sit in a room and see something on a screen with a filmmaker there is becoming much more appreciated as an experience that people want to have.
When we have about 100 filmmakers that come in here during the summer, really get involved with the audience, and we all just share this wonderful community together, it creates a very unique experience, and it's really amazing to be a part of it.
The festival runs from Saturday through Saturday. It's always the last Saturday of July through the first Saturday of August. And you can experience the festival however you want to. I would say come here with an open mind, with no expectations of anything, and be prepared to leave here connected to a film. People come back to me 10, sometimes 15 years later, and they're still thinking about a film that they saw and tell me about the effect that that had on their lives. So you can come here and see one film, you can come here and see 30 or 40 films. It would be hard to see 170 films. But you can come by yourself, you can come with your friends, bring your family, bring your kids. We really do have something for everybody. Our main purpose really is to show stories that people wouldn't get a chance to see otherwise. And if that happens to coincide with what people are interested in that's happening in the world, that's great. It offers an opportunity for a broader dialogue to occur from that.
The Woods Hole Film Festival runs Saturday, July 28th through Saturday, August 4th. Visit woodsholefilmfestival.org for more information.
Fresh local food, you can find it at a farmer's market, and this week we take you inside the Osterville Farmer's Market, open Friday mornings.
Cape Cod's 2018 summer season offers many different farmers markets to choose from. This week, we take you inside the Osterville Farmers Market, located on the campus of the Osterville Historical Museum.
My name is Kathy. It's my husband Tom. We are Tom Cat Daylily Farm. I'm a daylily hybridizer. We are in Mattapoisett, which is less than an hour from here. We are in peak bloom right now. And all of the plants you see here are my own hybridized creations, and I have thousands of plants. I always say I have 10,000 plants, but I've never counted, so I don't know if it's 2,000 or 20,000. Hybridizing is simple if you have a lot of patience. It's simple science, but you have to be very patient.
Hi, I'm Frank Tamaro, Frank's Cucina. We make savory and sweet biscottis, the old grandma way, all by hand. I grew up having biscottis in my house all the time. I'm a chef, and I've always created things. And one of the things I personally like are savory biscottis. So I've created a line. I just started doing this about a month ago, and they're like having a bruschetta or crostini in your hand. Put a little cheese on it, put a little honey on it. I was known for my cooking at Frank's Cucina, and it's something I'm not ready to hang up my chef's coat, and I need to do this.
I'm Joni Chipman from Say Cheese. We're out of Rochester, Mass, right over the bridge, and I've been doing this for about 7 years. I work with the Mass Cheese Guild, so I get to go out, locally source, find the best of the best. Whatever new one comes in, that usually ends up being my favorite. Right now it's the chili pepper cheddar. I get honey from Plymouth and Barnstable County, and the eggs are from a friend of mine's farm up in Raynham.
I've been coming here 3 or 4 weeks since I started. I live in Sandwich, so it's convenient for me, and it's a good market.
I mean, I've been doing this market, I think, 3 or 4 years now, and I mean, the people support it unbelievably.
It's a really nice market, pleasant people, nice vendors. We do a good business here most days.
Find these vendors and many more at 155 West Bay Road on the corner of Parker and West Bay Roads each Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 14th. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
And again, the Osterville Farmers Market open Friday mornings from 9 to 1. Future basketball players take note. The Boston Celtics are bringing their Junior Celtics camp to Cape Cod. We caught up with former Boston Celtic Dana Barros and youth basketball senior manager Sam Taub to learn more.
Well, since 1989, when I first came in the league, it's been almost 30 years. The game has grown, unbelievably. To me, being a teacher, it's hard to teach the kids, the right way to play, especially now with the AAU coming on the scene. So I've really dedicated myself, not only in my programs, but with the Celtics, to really trying to teach basketball, especially in the youth, the right way. You have to start, the foundation starts in the beginning. So that's what we're trying to really set with all the young kids, create a foundation of playing the right way.
We're really excited to be out here for the first Junior Celtics youth basketball clinic we've hosted on the Cape ever. And so it's going to be a 3-hour basketball clinic, and it's going to be more than just playing the game. It's going to be developing a youth player holistically and incorporating life skills that span beyond the game. And so it'll start at 9 a.m. Kids will file in the gym. Each kid is going to receive a custom Junior Celtics performance t-shirt, which we're really excited about. Just saw the designs for those the other day. They're going to come in, they're going to be assigned to a team based on their age, so they'll be with kids of their similar age. And then essentially we're going to rotate and cover different basketball skills and activities. We're going to teach it in a way that's really fun and interesting for kids. Kids aren't going to stay engaged and care about working on their game or practicing if it's not a lot of fun. And so we always make sure that any activity that we do is competitive and kids are working hard and they're having a really great time. And we're really excited to have some of our Celtics guests incorporated in the event, whether it's a Celtics legend or an assistant coach or a mascot. We know how much young people look up to our Celtics VIPs. And so if they get in front of this event and there's a team photographer there, those memories are going to last a lifetime.
There's a lot of kids who are interested in basketball but don't really have that kickstart that pushes them totally towards it. So I think what we do, we see a lot of kids that now want to play basketball. And I think we're encouraging a lot of people, especially young people, to play through our programs. Especially girls. I think a lot of girls come in and they kind of say, oh, this is pretty cool. And then you realize, okay, they really want to try to do this from that point on. So it's also not only the teaching and the learning and the fundamentals, but we're also trying to bring more people into the game and encourage people to play the game. Because again, it's a part of life. We try to encourage them to do and find the things they love to do. Because I wake up every day, go to my gym and play basketball at 11 o'clock every morning. I do what I want to do, and I try to encourage them, if it's not basketball, figure out what that is and take that path so you can be whoever you want to be and do what you would like to do when you grow up. That's the key we try to teach.
The Boston Celtics Junior Basketball Clinic is being held at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center on Saturday, August 4th. It begins at 9 a.m. Visit Celtics.com/Junior Celtics to learn more. That brings this week's episode of Cape Media News to a close. Thank you for joining us, and keep up with us online at capemedia.org. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Coleman.